Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
What's
Here
up?
you
How
go,
can I
man.
help you out?
Okay, well, so I'm listening to a video that you put out a couple of weeks ago about marketing strategy to stop doing what's not working and double down on what is working.
Oh, dude, yes.
Okay, so I started out doing texting and I got a deal, and so I wanted to invest in a VA to do cold calling because I wasn't able to hit the numbers that I wanted to hit.
Okay.
Because I've got this little guy running around all day. And
That
so I
used
was
to be-
only
that
getting
used to
like
be
30
him.
or 40 calls a day in. So I hired a VA, and she's $8 an hour. She does eight hours a day.
Okay.
And I've been doing this now. I wrote down the data. Go give it to your sister. Okay, so she only goes Monday through Friday of the calling. Hey, go give it to your sister. Sorry, you guys.
Don't apologize.
This is what it's like when I'm on the phone with sellers too, but I use it to my advantage. I build rapport talking about kids, so it's
We don't
usually
get
not
it.
too bad.
Dude, don't apologize.
I drug
man.
my kids like anytime I go,
life,
hey,
man.
we're gonna stop by and look at a couple houses. And like he was fine with it. My daughter tore me up on it. She goes, you know where Dad took me today?
You should have seen the place.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I did that yesterday.
Yeah.
I took them both yesterday on an hour-long road trip. So,
Ah.
okay, so it's been 12 weeks total at 5 days a week. So I got 62 days of data. And out of those 12 weeks, now keep in mind it's 1,200, almost $1,300 a month. 1,280 a month I'm paying for her. And I've got like 40 leads in my nurture category, but I haven't got any deal. I've got like 4 almost deals where I was really, really close, where I sent over the contracts. One of them I ended up backing out. One of them I just sent last night, so I don't know if that's going to develop or not. But I've got some almost deals, but no deals. And out of my first 6 deals, I've only been doing this since November, and I've got 6 deals under my belt. Well, I say deals, 6 contracts. Only
Bryan.
2 I've been able to close on.
Why did you send out a contract?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking about on a lead that I got from my cold caller.
But why did you send out a contract?
I sent a DocuSign to a woman that I had an agreement verbally.
Dude, don't ever do that. That's terrible. Bro, if you want to increase your closing rate in virtual wholesaling, you agree verbally and you stay on the phone until they sign it. When you get off the phone and you send that DocuSign over, there's a 50-50 shot they sign it.
Especially the older people.
You got to remember this. An unanswered objection is an automatic no. If you have an unanswered objection, they'll never sign it. And so if they're reading it and say, what's an addendum for that? What's that? I'm not, this is risking it. Then boom, they ghost you, don't get the deal. Bro, you have to have an amazing closing rate. So on those, that could be 4 potential deals. Hey, so this is how the conversation always goes. We agree 40,000. Yes. Okay. What I'm going to do right now is I'm sending you over the agreement. Do you see it? And it's so annoying that they want to get off the phone with you that they just sign it. Okay, I'm sick of Bryan. I just sign it. His kid's screaming, sign it, and we're out of here. And then boom, you get locked up. The problem is when you send it over, you send it and you pray that they answer it. It's 50-50 at best, man. And we got to get you at an expert level on them because you're putting expert money in this business. You got to be a professional at this. Stay on the phone. You will get more contracts signed
because they start thinking about it. And I don't like, just look at how you look at your emails. You pick the ones that you go, okay, this is easy. I make this. And the ones that you even have the slightest reservation, you just you set them aside, put them in another folder. And you got to understand contracts are very final, especially when it comes to real estate people. Yeah. And we found out the hard way. If you don't walk them through it electronically,
stay on the phone.
I've had people go, absolutely, Rick, I'm doing the deal. Send it over. I'll sign it right away. And then we wait like 10 days. It's like, what happened?
You don't go on an appointment and then you have the contract. You just leave. I'll come back in a couple of days, go sign it. No. They sign it right there. Guys, motivated sellers don't get in a situation to want to sell their house fast for being very decisive and being very quick on things. That's why you have to stay on the phone. And I'm telling you, you got to do that. On top of that, so you got 40 leads. Why wasn't there 40 appointments?
Well, these are just in the nurture category. So they're people that they're not really motivated.
Why are they nurtured? Give me one and give me an example.
Well, because they're not really truly motivated. So I just put them on the back burner and follow up with them in a couple of weeks or a month.
Are they not motivated because of price or deciding to sell right now?
Yeah, that's the thing. The cold caller, she does no qualifying at all. It's just like anybody. I'm doing the qualifying. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, nurture is the stupidest thing in our company that we don't do because the lead is either a follow-up or it's not. It's an appointment or a follow-up. You're only a follow-up in my company if you don't want to sell. If you want to sell, we're going the appointment and we're getting the lowest price we possibly can do on it. I don't lead somebody on a nurture because time kills all deals. I know follow-up's important, but you got to get the appointment and the offer out there if they want to sell the property. Because if you just stick them on that nurture, some sell just sign with a realtor because it's whoever's ready to get the thing done now.
Yeah, you got to be inside of mind.
And if you're like, I'm gonna call them once a week, and we'll see what happens. No, I don't having a nurture and we don't really know what's going on with it drives me crazy because that could be in a deal. And so I think, bro, you need to call all those nurtured leads and say, hey, I heard from whatever Sarah, whoever your cold caller is that you're looking to sell. Are you still looking to sell the property? When's a good time for me to come out and see it? Literally, you just got to be right there, set it up. And I'm telling you, out of those 40 nurtured and you don't know too much about it, I promise you there's a deal out of that. There's a deal. 100%.
So yeah, I guess at the beginning, I was going and setting all the appointments and I realized I was wasting too much time on not truly motivated sellers. So I've been trying to get better at.
Well, do this. You know how we tell it. We always, it's freewholesaling.com. Before you go on the appointment, condition them. Are you ready to make a yes or no decision? Motivated sellers will always say no to it. But wholesaling deals will always say yes to that. Ask them that question. Are you, hey, Bryan, before I go out and see you tomorrow at 3:00, just so I don't waste your time or my time, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the house? I don't want to go out there and waste your time and mine. Yes, I'm ready to make a decision right then and now at 3 to sell or not. Yeah. That's a motivated seller. Because
you're wasting time not doing that. And honestly, that's the way to snuff them out, because there is nothing worse than sitting in someone's living room and they just
driving in
once you go in someone's house, it's very rude just to get up to leave. And a lot of times I'll tell you in the first 5 minutes, I'm just testing you out. I'm just like,
oh, it's the worst.
And now you're in full realtor mode. They're not listening to you. And if you get up and leave, I guarantee they'll never even talk to you again. So you're better off. There's different ways. Me and him have different techniques how we offer it.
I say, condition them.
Yeah, I always say with seller, I go, listen, I'm going to meet with you. And so do it on the phone, especially ahead of time. But I always say, listen, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to help you get the property sold regardless, even if I don't buy it. But at the end of our conversation, you got to give me a yes or no. And then I anchor them on it. And then when
you do the walk away with friends thing too.
And so which one?
We can walk away with friends.
Yeah, I go, listen, if it doesn't work out, you at least you'll get a friend out of it. Like, I want to know, I'm not threatening. I'm here to help and I'm here to listen to you. Because if you get a truly motivated seller and you get past their guard and you find the root of their problem, 9 times out of 10, you are the best solution for them. Because it's not, people think every property needs to be sold for the highest price. It's not. I've been a motivated seller. I had a house once where like 13 family members moved in and I couldn't get them out. And I just gave up. I couldn't deal with it anymore because I wasn't making any money with it. And I put it on an auction site and it was done. And I sold it very low and I was happy to get rid of it. And I took a loss on it. So if I can be a motivated seller, anybody can be a motivated seller. So the key with meeting anybody is, are they ready to make a decision? Because you are not a realtor. And go, listen, I'm the guy with the money. I'm going to make this happen. But like, you've got to be at a decision and then try to get rid of every objection. And then when I go meet with them, I go, listen, either way, I'm going to help you out. And worst case, you're part of his friends, but you have to give me a yes or no answer. And by the way, I'm okay with no. I'm perfectly fine with it. The maybe, it's torture. It's the worst scenario you can be as a wholesaler is when you go, let me think about it. It means they don't like you, they're uncomfortable, or you didn't overcome all their objections. So we've gotten really good, and he's the best trainer at it, is we try to massage them over the phone. Right. So your follow-up is like, I'm not going out there unless I have a high, like 80% probability of getting a contract. And that's the challenge. And in the beginning, like, you don't know all this stuff. So you go through all the pain of dealing with it, because in those 40 leads, I guarantee there's a deal. But remember, I always tell people, your job is to help sellers get out of their own dang way. Sometimes they don't even know what's wrong with them. I've walked in the houses and been eaten alive by fleas to the point like blood's coming down my leg. I'm scratching so hard. And they're like, well, I don't really need to sell all that bad. I'm like, are you kidding me? This house is one step away from being condemned. So I have to tell them and go, listen. And I've brought in like daughters, mothers, brothers, sisters, uncles to help explain the family member, like, you're killing yourself if you don't sell this house. So remember, part of your job, we don't sell them. We just walk them down a funnel saying, listen, if they need to sell the house, but the problem is most of them need to know they sell their house, they're overwhelmed and scared on how to take this down. And that's where you, Bryan, come in as a guide. So just start asking better questions on the phone when you're qualifying. So if you're using your girl to do the disqualifying, which is not a bad move, but I promise you, whatever she's doing, double her down. And I mean, you just got to push people. Like, when you're paying hard-earned money.
I don't think it's the leads that are the issue. They're producing the leads. Yeah. He just has to turn those leads into deals. And so I think you start doing that, implementing that more, and really dialing in your process. I think you're going to be good, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, how you guys took my question to conversion rate, because that is definitely something, as a newbie that I
Leads are
need to
being
work
produced,
on.
man.
What's
I
that?
don't think your leads, and you're getting offers out there. You're getting interested. I just don't think you're converting them the way you can. If you just switch those couple things, I think you're going to get a lot more deals, man.
And once you get like a deal here, a deal there, your confidence goes up and you gain a skill set. And that's part of the journey of wholesaling. And we all have to get through it. The idea is we're making money as we're learning, as opposed to the other way is like going and studying 5-6 years and then figuring it out the hard way. So I went through it. He painfully went through it. We all went through it. And after a while, you just start to figure out how to talk to people to best manage your time. Guys, do not treat wholesaling like a realtor, because it's complete. Realtors have to sell. They sell. We just guide people down for the best decision to sell their house for cash to solve their problem. Most people selling their house is the biggest decision of their life, and it's natural for people to pull back. And you have to reassure them and walk them through them. And all I do is, so if they get off track, Brian, all I do is, Brian, I go, remember, John, why you called me.
Yep.
You just want to get out of this situation and you want to move forward. And that's how we do it. And you got to constantly remind them of it, because the drama and the excuses come up and you got to stop it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I agree that I could be better at my conversion rate, but I have talked to some really motivated sellers before, so I know what they're like. The couple of deals that I have been able to close on.
Mm-hmm.
But with my cold caller, I'm analyzing if I can afford to keep spending $1,280 a month on her, because I do have a very limited marketing budget. I can only afford to do that probably for another 3 months. But I do have quite a bit in the funnel there.
That's
I'm getting 1 to 2 conversations per day, but they're not motivated. Out of my 60 days, I've probably only got 1 truly motivated seller.
Well, give me the list.
What's the list?
Of who they're calling.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kind of jumping around a lot, but I've been getting the most action with the, I got the REIQ leads. So
what's REIQ?
REIQ is Real Estate IQ. It's a list provider, but they basically have tax liens, pre-foreclosures.
Why do you go with them?
Airships and probates.
Why do you go with them?
Well, for the price, just it's better for me than trying to pull them manually, because I don't have that much time to.
How much are you paying for this data?
$200 a month.
Okay.
They're skip traced too. I was spending that much on skip tracing before.
Okay, so they're skip traced.
Yeah.
What's your connection rate? Do you know your contact rate? No, sorry, your connection rate.
Well, with the I only wrote down conversations, but yeah, I can pull up a
figure that out, because I can tell you what you pay for in skip tracing is what you get out. And I'm just telling you straight up, if you go with the cheap service for the skip tracing, you want a contact rate. So yeah, it's cheaper, but your cost per contact is so much lower. And so the contact is, first of all, there's a connect rate. So out of 1,000 calls, how many people say hello? But out of 1,000 sellers, how many are the actual seller and I get to talk to them? That's the contact rate.
Right.
You might cheap out on the skip tracing, but the issue is when you cheap out on the skip tracing, you actually get in front of less sellers, which is less deals.
So I haven't put all 62 days into a spreadsheet and analyzed it, but I can tell you yesterday, for example, 77 leads with 300 dials. That was 9 connected. That was actually the actual person.
77
leads.
leads?
16 of connected wrong numbers.
77 leads?
Yes, 77 leads.
That's way too high. I'm just not 1 out of 4 tax liens are going to be a person that wants to sell.
Nah,
that's way too high. I think your definition of a lead's probably off. A lead, in my opinion, is somebody that wants to sell their house for cash.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 77 numbers. I'm sorry, for my cold caller. 77 prospects, I guess you would call it.
I think you have to run the numbers. If you don't run the actual numbers, get the true data, then I can't help you out. And the thing is, either you run the numbers or the numbers are going to run you. You got to decide which one you want to do. Figure out what your contact rate and your connection rate is.
So, okay. Yeah. So yesterday I got 25 out of 77. So that's like a third, 30% or so.
But how many were they all the actual sellers?
No, only 9 were the actual sellers.
Okay. And is your skip tracing getting 3 phone numbers?
Oh, it does them all. I get like 5 or 6, sometimes more.
Okay. And so and how many leads, like people wanting to sell, came from that?
I got one person on the phone.
Okay.
And
You got
again,
one-
it's like a non-motivated, I just want to hear the cash offer, but I'm not really thinking about selling kind of guy.
Okay. So you're telling me that your cold caller for 8 hours only got 9 actual connections with the seller?
Yeah.
That's really bad, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand what's going on. I think your skip tracing's off, man. I could get in front of 1 seller per hour. That is really bad. Do you agree with me? Or am I
Yeah,
off?
I mean,
1 seller per hour.
So I don't want to go like too deep down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole, but like the reality is, and this is for everybody on the stream. I'm not focusing Bryan, but you can use the information. If you've never been in the trenches cold calling, which it sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't do it. He did
I
it.
do it.
Like the only way I did a cold caller is he stepped up to the plate. He goes, I'll call 10,000
I need
people.
about 10 no's
And then
per hour.
he went through it and did it for years. And then he trained people how to do it from there. The reality in this business, everybody says they can do it. You're going to be buried in VAs. It's not the VA's fault. VA is going to take whatever money you throw their way. So the title of the video was double down on the stuff that works and get rid of the stuff that doesn't work. You're really gonna have to do a deep dive because
What's your dialer?
She doesn't use a dialer.
She's hand dialing it?
Well, no, I mean, she has it in the CRM and it's a click to dial, but it's not like a batch dialer.
it's extremely inefficient without it.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if money's the issue, get a cheaper VA and just do a Mojo dialer. That's the simplest one. Every VA knows
There's
that.
just not enough
I tell
volume
people
there.
use Zach dialer, but that's for yourself. VA on a Mojo dialer with those numbers, you'll be way more efficient. 1 per hour, I say you cut it off. It's not even worth it.
You're gonna come to the decision in 2 or 3 months anyways. I would stop it. It's not really the VA's fault. It's just a lot of people hire a VA thinking they can solve the cold calling and just have them doing it, and it actually just creates more problems for you. You need much higher numbers and much greater efficiencies. Without VAs will have the multi-dialers built into it, but like there's a reason why I had somebody in our company do it for 3 years before we even outsourced it. We didn't understand what the hell we were asking for. So we're trying to manage KPIs of VAs and it's hard. I get it, dude. You don't want to cold call. I don't want to either. But sometimes I teach a lot of people, you got to fight in the trenches before you outsource someone, because if you don't know how to manage them, they're just going to do whatever you tell them. Like the fact that they're not using a multi-dialer is a huge waste of time.
I'm telling you, I would probably cut it off and revamp. It just, those numbers are terrible.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been feeling like for $1,200 a month, the numbers are terrible, and the leads on the people that I are talking to, they are not motivated at all. Compared to my $500 a month for launch control is like I'm getting way more conversations per day, actually able to get motivated.
You're doing multi dialing.
Yeah, plus you're in control. So take your clues to it. Listen, Bryan, I just did this exact same thing before I had him take over cold calling. I wasted 20, 30, 40,000 before I go, I'm getting killed. Don't be the guy that waits a year or two to decide, hey, this isn't working out. I get it. You want leads, but like you're not that deep in the hole. You can fix it now and get a much more.
See what happens. That's all I can tell you. Just you stop them, go to the same list and text it and see if the results are similar, better, or worse. I say you do that and then get back with me and let me know.
Okay.
It's the right decision, Bryan. I'm telling you, like the video should hit home, and I get it. You're trying to make it work. The problem is it's a broken system and you just keep trying to plug holes and it's only going to get worse in my opinion. So stop it.
You want to say hi?
Take a breath, go after your SMS. Oh my gosh. And just attack it. Like you're on the right course. I know that's what you're asking. And I'm telling you, just take the action that you're going to do.
All right.
Okay.
Cold calling, you just do it bigger and better, and you know exactly what to do. Multi-dialers, make sure you're getting actually skip trace, because you got to look at the net number at the end of the day. And if it's taking you 3 times as long, it would be actually cheaper to use a more efficient system, in my opinion.
Go after it, man. You know what to do.
Yeah, with the texting, like my first 2 deals were actually turned into checks. Were from texting, and I'm getting a bunch of nada from the calling.
Go. The video spoke.
Go after it. You got this.
Okay, last thing then, related to the marketing. I know, Zach, you're all about giving out the guru secrets. So because I'm spending this $12.80 a month on the caller and I'm not getting motivated leads, but my feed now, because I'm part of all these real estate investing groups and wholesaling groups, my feed is full of all these services offering, for different dollars per month, they're offering, basically they do the calling and the pre-screening, and they're generating their leads with pay-per-click and Facebook
They'll also
ads.
do your laundry and they'll take care of the kids and babysit them too,
dude,
right?
I've tried
do it all.
I've tried every one of them, Bryan.
Right?
Unless you're in direct control, they're just going to take your money.
They say, oh, well, you're going to get 1 or 2 already motivated leads. and they're going to be ready to go. Some of them are even saying that you'll guarantee a deal or you get your money back.
Bryan, if it was so good, they'd do it themselves. It's the bottom line. Listen, if it sounds too good and too perfect, wake up. You are being sold. It's over marketing. This is why I constantly preach what the hell's going on in this industry. If it sounds perfect, if it was that good, everybody would be wildly successful at wholesaling. The
Everybody
truth is,
in your market would have already done it.
Dude, I've tried it all. You're wasting it. It's just getting worse and worse. Now you're trying to be sold AI where you don't even have to do anything but turn on your computer and hit a
all
button.
Cheap employees. Let me give you one last thing. We got to head out. Though I know the two ones you're talking about. One of them offered me 50% affiliate commissions. So they're charging you $1,200. They can give away 50% of it to me. That's how much margin they have. That's how cheaply these employees are. It's like 90% margins. They're paying the employees $2-3 an hour. That's how low they're paying them. And they're not going to work that hard. I'm telling you right now, man, they'll guarantee you a lead. Where's that lead? So dude,
one guy's charging like 10 grand a month.
They give
I would give him $100 grand a month if he could produce it. They don't. That's why he's selling it, because he's putting your butt on the line and he's getting paid. He has no guarantee at the end of the day.
Their word of mouth would have been good enough. I'm telling you, if it would have
been exploded.
They have to go to Facebook groups and beg for the money, dude. Get some text blasting. Let's start doing that. Go after it, man. You know what to do.
There's no shortcut.
I'll follow up with you guys in a week. But yeah, I'm going to cut off the cold caller and just double down on the texting.
You go.
Right, man. Go at it, man.
That's true accountability right there.
Okay. Thanks, guys.